this is I Bring It Every Day. We're going to be making the corner flower square. You're going to need a crochet hook, scissors, and 5 different colors. So I'm using in this one dark purple, lilac, periwinkle, yellow, and white. And I'm just giving you another look at the hook. So good luck and have fun. And let me know what you think in the comments. So we're going to start with the color yellow. We're going to start with a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 6. And I'm following the diagram. And what you're going to do is you're going to go back into that first chain with a slip stitch. And you're going to crochet everything into that ring where I'm pointing. Then I'm going to chain 4. And this is going to count as your first treble stitch. So in the treble, and I'm going to show this in slow motion first, and then I'm going to talk you through it next. So the treble is you yarn over twice, you go into the ring, pull up a loop, you have 4 loops on your hook, you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you yarn over, pull through 2. So once again, you yarn over twice, go into the ring, pull up a loop, you have 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's what it looks like. As an aside, the treble crochet stitch does take a few extra steps, but it makes a nice tall stitch, and it looks good as the flower part in the middle of the flower before you place the petals. And the next row is going to be the petals. And I'm just want to make sure that you do a slip stitch on that chain 4 stitch to complete the row. You should have a total of 16 treble crochets in that first row. All right, so that's the end of row 1. We're going to clip the yarn that's attached to the ball, and we're going to slip stitch through the top of this circular form, and that's going to fasten off and end the first row officially. And now we're going to start with the color white, and I'm just going to pull that through, chain 3, and go back into the same space. And we're going to do the popcorn stitch, and the popcorn stitch involves 5 double crochets into the same space. And then there's a little trick you have to do at the end in order to pull the stitch together. And when I get to that part here, I'm doing this one pretty slowly. Gotta do one more. So now what you have to do is you have to take your hook out, put it in that 5th stitch because there's a chain 3 at the very beginning there. And then you go into the loop that was on the hook, you yarn over and pull through all 5 of those. You're going to have one that's kind of hanging out, and we're going to slip stitch to that at the very end, but you're going to chain 3 once you seal it, and then you got to skip 2 of the yellow trebles, and you're going to do it again. So you're going to do 5 double crochets into that treble crochet space. You want to make sure that you evenly space them out, so you have to space it out between 2 of the yellow trebles each time you do this popcorn stitch, and then chain 3 in between each one. But I'm going to demonstrate the popcorn stitch another time for you. So we're coming up to the end here. I'm going to do the last popcorn stitch. And then I'm going to slip stitch to that chain 3 that was at the beginning of the row. And that'll finish row 2. You should have a total of 8 popcorn stitches here. And we're going to fasten off. Well, first we're going to clip the yarn that's attached to the ball. And then we're going to slip stitch at the top to fasten off the row. And that's row 2. Okay, now we're going to attach the periwinkle. And we're going to do a basic granny square corner. Once we attach it, you can put it anywhere in between any of those popcorn stitches. It really doesn't matter. But what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. Once you slip stitch, get it on there. Chain 3. And then that's going to count as your first double crochet. Then you're going to go back into that and do 2 more double crochets. And then chain 2. And it's going to be 3 more double crochets in the same space. And then you're going to chain 1. And that's your first corner. Then you're going to go into that next chain 3 space of the popcorn stitch and do 3 double crochets in that chain 3 space. And that's what we're going to do right here. Now when you finish that, that's going to be a center granny square stitch. And now you're going to get to another corner. So you're going to repeat the corner stitch. And that's the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So you have a nice corner, one in the middle, and then corner stitch here. So it's turning nice and square. So you continue that all the way around until you should have 4 corners and then 3 single clusters in the middle of each one, or 4, one in between each. And then after that, you slip stitch to the top. And I'll show you what it looks like when you get to the other side. So as always, you want to clip the last color that you do, and then attach the new one, and then chain up 3. But we're in a corner, and we're only going to do half a corner this time. So we're just going to do 3 double crochets in this first corner. And this is where this square gets kind of interesting. Okay, so now in each of these spaces, when you start the purple row, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. And even though it looks like a corner, you're just going to do a half of a corner, which is the 3 double crochets, chain 1. Yep. And then right here, you're going to do your corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And then after you leave the corner, you're going to just continue doing 3 double crochets, chain 1 until you get to the end of this row. And this is what it looks like. And I kind of just turned it around. So this is the way it looks. When you get to the end, I'm going to do the last cluster, or the set of 3 double crochets in the corner. Now what you do is you chain up 3 and you turn your work. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go back in those open spaces, and you're going to continue the granny pattern. So you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1 in that first space, and you're going to do the same thing until you get to the corner, and then you're going to do the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then you just keep on going until you get to the very end. So you're only going to do 2 sides of this square, basically, and I'm showing you where you're going to end up. So now we're at the very last granny cluster, and all you're going to do is chain 3 and then do a slip stitch into that top stitch on the granny. And that ends the dark purple row. Yep. And once again, you're going to cut the yarn at the ball, slip stitch to fasten off, and then we're going to go to the next color, which is the last 2 rows of this granny square. Congratulations! So we just finished the purple row, and we're going to start the next color, which is going to be the periwinkle. And you're going to start just the same way as you started the purple. You're going to start at the one corner, and you're going to attach, and then you're going to do, and basically it's going to cover the same as the purple, as I was pointing out in the picture. And then what you want to do is start in the corner with the 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, until you get to the corner where you do the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then continue with the 3 double crochets, chain 1 until you get to the end. And then you're just going to repeat, the second purple row. It's going to be the same thing. So you're going to go in between each of the double crochets and do the 3 double crochets, chain 1 until you get to the corner. But that's basically how you finish up the project. It's pretty simple, and I'm just going to let you watch the end, but you don't, hopefully this helps you out. Let me know in the comments if this has been helpful. And but I think this was a pretty nice pattern, and like I said, you can play with the colors, but I think the key thing is the color choices here. And I definitely think that the light and the dark purples really complement each other. So anyway, I bring it every day, and my name is Kelly, and I appreciate your attention. But I'll finish the second row if you need to watch, and then you're going to fasten off as always, and you have to sew in or weave in your ends. And I'll show you at the very, very end what it looks like all cleaned up. And if you're interested, you can post a picture of your square or whatever finished project that you do on the I Bring It Everyday community page on YouTube, or you could also join the Facebook group, the I Bring It Everyday Facebook group.